Hello everyone! I was hoping to get a chance to sit down and go over some of the changes that the Ridgeway Farmers Market is doing before we got back to the swing of it all. It's a little bit different, this format, but I figured it's the fastest way to reach everyone. I'll try to keep it short so that no one gets too bored. I'd like to start with a quick recap of last year. We averaged 16 vendors on a weekly basis, everyone was very spread out, and we will be accepting more vendors for the 2021 season. We also averaged 616.4 customers each week, not counting the children, which is pretty decent considering the rules and guidelines from the province that just kept changing. So I really have to thank all of the people of Ridgeway. We actually recorded how many people came through per hour, and the busiest hour was 11 to 12, although 10 to 11 was a close second. I'm sure those of you who have been doing this for years, that's not a big surprise. We did a quick survey last season about why people come to the market, and the strongest responses were to support local, it has a great atmosphere, there's a high quality of goods, and I always go to insert specific vendor here. I'd like to run a few more surveys in the future just to gather quick information from our customers, and I will continue to share the information with you. At this point, it looks like we have to start the season with the same rules that we had throughout last season. However, if we're lucky, they won't last all year. For those of you who are getting this video who weren't with us last year, who are either unable to because of restrictions or you're just brand new to us this year, we implemented some rules similar to any grocery store. There were one-way walking paths, one entrance, one exit, a limited number of people inside, copious hand sanitizer everywhere, etc., etc. We encouraged the use of masks and tried to enforce social distancing. Now there's a couple of things that I'd like to discuss about being a vendor. Firstly, the BIA does not provide tents. Also, the tents must be weighted down, but tent pegs are not permitted. Mostly because the majority of the vendors are on pavement and the pegs won't work anyway. But for those on the grass, the town doesn't like us putting holes in the ground. So, water weights are encouraged, or other weights if you happen to have them. There is running water at the market to fill the weights upon arrival. For those of you who require hydro and have filled that out on the form, the BIA doesn't provide extension cords or power bars. We also do not provide tables or signage. All of that stuff, once you've got it set up, must be inside your 10 by 10 given space. No tables, signs, or standalone displays can be impeding the walkway, especially because with our one-way walkways, there's not a whole lot of extra space to make sure everybody is proper distanced apart. At the end of the day, vendors are all required to bring their garbage home with them. The garbage bins that are left around the site by the town are meant for customers only, and we are not allowed to be putting our garbage into those receptacles. Those of you who are not using your vehicle during the market hours are required to remove it from the site as quickly as possible. You may drive in to unload, but please remove the vehicle to the designated parking lot before you start setting up. This is simply a courtesy for the other vendors who also have to unload. The designated parking that I'm referring to is up the hill behind the Trailsides bar. We are asked to only park at the end of the lot closest to the trees, to leave space for the restaurant customers. The other lot is across the street at the beer store, and we are again asked to park at the end of the lot closest to the street, and leave those spots closer to the building for the beer store customers. At 8 a.m., the market begins. At that time, there should be no moving vehicles inside the market space until 1 p.m. The only exception is cars left overnight because we can't actually stop them from leaving. Here is a visual representation of where parking is allowed. We have a new absentee policy for this year. An absence is declared notified if it is given before 8 p.m. the previous evening. Each vendor has a limit of 5 notified absences throughout the season, and after this they may be removed from the market. Unnotified absences means that a notification came after 8 p.m. the previous evening or did not come at all. Each vendor has a limit of 3 unnotified absences. After this, they may be removed from the market. All absences are carefully recorded. If a vendor is removed, we will go on to the wait list to fill that spot. Which brings me to the wait list. There is a limited amount of space at the Ridgeway Farmers Market, and therefore there is a wait list for those waiting for space to come available. Farmers will always be given first consideration to maintain our designation as a farmers market. After that, the vendors will be contacted by the date that they applied. Those on the wait list may be contacted for a single day to fill the space of a missing vendor. They will be charged only the day fee, which will be rolled into a full fee should they become a regular vendor further down the road. Now, our last major point of note is payment. If sending your payment by check or money order, direct it to the Ridgeway BIA, the Business Improvement Area. Do not direct it to the farmers market. If it says Ridgeway Farmers Market, we cannot deposit it. If you send the money by e-transfer, always send a second email to both the treasurer and myself with the password for depositing or the confirmation of deposit. This will expedite the process of being marked as paid. If you pay by cash directly to me, then you will receive your receipt right away. If anybody has questions, please feel free to contact me at ridgewaymarket@gmail.com or read through section G of the application forms. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all during our 2021 season.